Hello, everyone. Deborah Roth here at Spirited Living, back with another audition to our Inner Goddess Team video series. This one this week is Lady of Regla, or Lady Regla, she is apparently sometimes referred to. And she embodies really so many of the qualities of the divine feminine, which is what this series is designed to reawaken in us, to expand in us, because we all have those qualities of compassion and honoring our intuition, honoring our bodies, our connection to nature, honoring our emotions. And excuse me, Lady Regla is considered the patroness of the zodiac sign, the astrological sign of Cancer, which we just entered on the summer solstice. Cancer is the sign that, well, we know that the summer solstice has begun when the sun enters the sign of Cancer. So just knowing that she has these Cancerian qualities. Cancer rules the moon in astrology. It is about compassion and empathy and family connection and togetherness and kinship and empathizing and relationships, all that stuff. Really shows you the connection that Lady Regla has had really since she kind of came into awareness back in like 300 something. BC, no, not BCE, CE, Common Era. And I feel obviously a particular connection. Those of you know that my birthday is on June 28th, so I am definitely a Cancer moon, or Cancer girl, Cancer goddess. And I am wearing blue. That's one of the ways that you can invoke her, or when you're calling on her to support you. And I'll explain the ways that you can do that shortly. Surround yourself with blue and wear blue. I happen to have a lot of blue. It goes with my blue eyes. So the story with Lady Regla is that she was first defined by Augustine. There was a statue. First she was named for the Virgin of Regla, R-E-G-L-A. And she's considered an aspect of the Virgin Mary. And she was actually named for a seaport in Spain, which was the city of Regla, as you can imagine. And there was an image there of the Virgin Mary known as the Virgin Virgen de Regla, which is the Virgin of Regla. And then found she was transported to Cuba by Africans, and she was adopted in Cuba. And there was also a city in Cuba that was called Regla, as an aspect of Yemaya, of the Yoruban Orisha, the Yoruban goddess Yemaya, who I've done a whole thing about a while ago, like 3 years ago. I will include the link to my video about Yemaya that was from December 2020 in my YouTube description. So she's traveled far and wide, and she is still to this day honored and recognized both in Spain, but also in Catholic countries, because she is an aspect of the Virgin Mary. But also in Cuba and in many of in the Philippines, which I thought was interesting, in the Netherlands, Mexico, the Dominican Republic. There are still feasts in her honor to this day. She's connected with Yemaya, which is the West African rendition of a fish mother, and with the summer rain. So she's a water sign, just as Cancer. She's a water goddess, or a water deity connected with water, which Yemaya is. And she's considered the bearer of fertility and family unity. So call on Lady Regla, Lady of Regla, when you want to bring fertility to some area of your life, or if you have a difficult conversation. Remember, she's very much about family unity. If there's a difficult conversation you need to have with someone who's close to you, Wear blue, which I mentioned earlier, when you're calling on her. She loves that. She apparently, with several other goddesses, trying to remember who it was lately, who loves yams. So yams are something that you can offer up when you're calling on Yemaya, or calling on Lady Regla as well. Here's some images of her. Interestingly enough, she is always pictured. This is from one of the very first statues. Let me get her up there. And here's another image of her. I think this is the one that was in Regla in Spain. And she is a Black Madonna. She is depicted at, with dark skin. And I did a whole thing on the 500 Black Madonnas that you can find around Europe. I did that, I don't know, sometime last fall, I think. If I think of it, I'll put that in the YouTube description too. So she really has this rich history to her, and she traveled across the ocean like many goddesses, many deities did. You can eat fish or crab to ingest a little extra self-love and empathy for yourself. Anytime, and I do this always in my rituals, in my new moon rituals, and really any rituals that I do. I even do it in my wedding ceremonies. Anything that you charge with the energy of, whether it's the new moon or the full moon or a particular goddess, anything that you put on an altar and you really take the time and create sacred space, it's like a communion. It's a way that you can literally embody what the energy of this particular person is. Hello, Roberta. So again, anything connected with the ocean, eating things from the ocean, is a way to get her fertility going. If you want to dream, and this is from, I love Patricia Telesco. I've mentioned her many times here. She has a wonderful book called 365 Goddesses, A Daily Guide to the Magic and Inspiration of the Goddess. Again, I will put the name of that in there too. What she suggests is that if you want to dream of future loves and get Lady Regla's perspective on a tough family situation, leave her an offering of yams, and then you can invoke her favor with these before you, this is before you go to bed, so that you can get prophetic dreams that help answer whatever your questions you are, whatever help that you're asking for. And remember, as much as this sounds magical and maybe out of your spiritual context, what we're talking about is archetypes. We're talking about representatives of these qualities, these divinely feminine qualities that we want to bring more into our own personal lives. But frankly, and I've said this here so many times, frankly, I think the world needs it. Our civilization needs these qualities in order to continue to live, to exist. So think of these personifications as just another aspect of the divine, and how you can bring that into yourself, and then through yourself to offer it to the world. What else do I want to tell you about the Virgin of Regla? This was wonderful. I love this little historical thing. So the statue that I showed you, the Virgin de Regla, was first commissioned by Augustine in like the year 354 or something like that, 350. And through various invasions, up to the 8th century, at that point, because of all the different conquering invaders, she was, this beloved statue had to go underground, where she stayed for a very long time. And the monks hid the image of her, in a cistern next to a fig tree, where she remained for several centuries until, I'll do my math here. So 5 centuries, in the 13th century, when apparently a vision of Our Lady, of Lady Regla, manifested herself to one of the holy men, and he was shown where this beautiful statue, where this beautiful image was, and where she was hidden. And so they found her, the image, and a chalice and a burning lamp, and that led to a revival of the dedication of the Virgin de Regla. And the cistern, apparently the cistern and the fig tree still exist, and they're in a location called the Humilladero in Spain somewhere. So I hope that gives you just some little bit of context about this this beautiful aspect of the fiery, the watery energy, the loving, empathic energy that Yemaya holds for us. So those are my questions for you. Where do you need more of that in your life? Have you had a connection ever with her? I would love to hear. Please, leave something in the comments. If you have an interaction, if you have some kind of invocation that you experience and an experience with her. Spread the word, as always, I ask people to do, and subscribe, to my YouTube channel if you haven't. Everything I do on Facebook and on Instagram goes on my YouTube channel. You just get to that by typing in Deborah Roth at YouTube. So I think, I think that's all I want to say, except I will share, and I know I've done this one before. It's one of the very first chants that I learned, this beautiful chant that is the ideal watery chant, and it goes like this in Lady Regla's honor. I am the ocean and a little bit higher. I am the ocean and the ocean is me. I am the goddess and I am the sea. Everything opens when I open me. Everything opens when I open me. I am the ocean and the ocean is me. I am the goddess and I am the sea. Everything opens when I open me. Everything opens when I open me. Isn't that beautiful? So hopefully that'll be a little earworm that will stay with you the rest of the day. I hope you sing it along with me. Some of you have sung it who are watching or will be watching. Hello, Barbara. Have sung this with me in circle before. And think of ways that you can call on Lady Regla as we're entering the Cancer season. This is her season. How you can call on her to help you with your family issues and just empathy with yourself. Sit under the full moon coming up in a couple weeks. That is her space as well. Thanks so much for watching, and have a beautiful beginning of summer. Bye for now.